You're watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans. Make sure you subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and push the like button for me.
Or else you'll be Hakai!
Not Beerus.
You know how this works. Make sure you enable all notifications on the channel and watch the entire video all the way through.
And don't forget to follow UnrealEntGaming on both Instagram and Twitter.
That's enough! On with the video.
So with the story of the events that have transpired within Dragon Ball Super Superhero now over and done with, we finally now make our way into introducing the new arc within the Dragon Ball Super manga, which takes place directly after the events of Superhero, which inevitably also begs the question on what this arc is going to be centered around, and if this story is somehow going to introduce the events of either the end of Z or even Black Frieza. Now before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball related, including its manga, anime, video games, fan animations, fan mangas, and more, in which would also like to be kept up to date with everything in regards to the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball video games, and any and all additional content within the Dragon Ball universe, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what the future holds for the Dragon Ball franchise. And with all that being said, as courtesy of this month's VJump magazine along with DBS Hype and DBS Chronicles over on Twitter, the following Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 101 leaks, images, spoilers, and information goes as follows. Now, as of course you guys can see here on your screen, inevitably during the middle portion of this manga chapter, we do actually see an engagement between Vegeta and BROLY, which I think is a very cool thing to see considering the fact that it was mainly Goku and BROLY that were shown going at it in the superhero arc. And so this, I think, is a really cool thing to see, especially considering the fact that as soon as BROLY was shown punching Vegeta and making him bleed from his forehead, we can also see that as the blood is beginning to drip, that Vegeta seems to be enjoying this, just as he was shown doing against Granolah as he became Ultra Ego. And so it was only shortly after, as of course you guys can see, Vegeta had gone as far as to become a Super Saiyan and not going any further than that, because apparently enough it looks as though Vegeta is only going to be using Super Saiyan to engage with BROLY during this entire fiasco on Beerus' planet, which again is set after the events of Dragon Ball Super Superhero. So while all of this is going down, it looks as though Vegeta is doing a much better job at having to fight off against base BROLY than he did in his regular base form, because as soon as Vegeta was able to actually gain the upper hand against him was when Vegeta was from that point, as of course you guys can see, was then shown having to uppercut BROLY so hard in the stomach that you can visually see it upon BROLY's face that he is feeling somewhat some kind of levels of pain to this. But it is also emphasized that this entire time BROLY is trying to control himself and stabilize himself by not losing his mind. We most definitely end up seeing more come from Vegeta and BROLY than what we've seen go down involving Goku and BROLY, because even with BROLY being shown having to look for Vegeta as Vegeta was hiding within Beerus' forest, the overall training between them seems to insinuate the fact that BROLY is getting the better hang of controlling his power. But even despite the fact that with Vegeta having to go after BROLY and fighting him, remember, only as a Super Saiyan, Vegeta does go as far as to emphasize that he wants for BROLY to go on ahead and channel that raw power out to begin with, only for it to once again end off, as of course you guys can see, with both Vegeta and BROLY having to cease the action among them, only for Goku to be shown inserting himself in this, as of course Lemma was shown handing off Vegeta water, with the entire situation around this being mainly centered at the fact that even though BROLY is getting the better hang of his power to begin with, it's still too dangerous for BROLY to go all out by either becoming a Super Saiyan or going as far as to use his full power in this fight. So they mainly end up having to stop that before things end up getting worse on Beerus' planet, which doesn't end up changing the fact of what is going on Earth, because as of course you guys can see, there does come a point in time which Carmine and number 15, which of course is one of the Red Ribbon soldiers, ultimately end up pulling up to Gohan's house and shooting it up and forcing Gohan from that point and unleashing his beast power to begin with, which, just to clarify, it only goes as far as to imply that yes, Gohan still understands and knows how to use this power. So if anyone is kind of afraid that Gohan isn't going to be able to tap into this beast form, or had simply gone as far as to forget how to use this, well, this debunks the entire notion of that, because it looks as though clearly enough, even though this is either within the day or several days after, Gohan still understands and knows how to tap into and use his beast power. But for the first time since the events of all of this having to go down to begin with, Goku and Vegeta are able to finally sense Beast Gohan. Now, why, you may ask? Well, the reason as to why Goku and Vegeta were not able to sense Beast Gohan during the events of the movie, because with both of them locked in a very intense battle against each other, they were both very worn out by the end to even sense Gohan to begin with. But since they're not fighting and since both of their powers have been restored, it was only while they were eating where from out of nowhere, that was when Goku and Vegeta were able to sense Gohan all the way from Earth and onto Beerus's planet, which goes as far as to show us that yes, Gohan is in fact that strong of his powers able to be sensed from all the way across from Earth, as subsequently enough, as of course you guys can see, with Beast Gohan stepping up to both Carmine and number 15, Beast Gohan was literally on the verge of tearing these two apart if it were not for both Saiyaman X1 and Saiyaman X2, of course Goten and Trunks talking Gohan out of it, because it was due to the fact of them two having to show up again and causing havoc again that triggered Gohan in such a way that he nearly went as far as to almost tear them apart, until towards the very end, as of course you guys can see, that's when Goku shows up. And on top of Goku and Vegeta having to learn of everything courtesy of Whis on Beerus's planet, Goku now knows that Gohan is harboring this power. Goku now knows of what happened with Cell Max, and it even goes as far as to imply, going into chapter number 102 in February, that Goku kind of wants to see what this power is all about himself, which also kind of insinuates the fact that we may actually end up seeing Beast Gohan versus Ultra Instinct Goku. However, there's more, because courtesy of Dragon Ball Super Chronicles over on Twitter, the following Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 101 summary spoilers goes as follows. The chapter starts with Carmine and number 15 in black attire returning from Magenta's funeral. With its base and most of its troops gone, the Red Ribbon Army is now over finally, but Carmine notes that they still have the funds to build a Red Ribbon Army if they want to, but it's impossible with Piccolo and Gohan around if they're the ones that defeated Cell Max. Carmine and number 15's car gets stuck in traffic as Saiyaman X1 fights off a bunch of bank robbers in the middle of the road, as Carmine is surprised to see X1 sending a robber flying with just one finger tap, but then Saiyaman X2, which is Goten, also comes out of the bank by having to kick a bunch of robbers around, as Carmine is amazed to see how easily they were able to take care of the robbers. As later Carmine invites them to have a conversation at Red Pizza, and as the boys eat pizza, Carmine explains that he needs their help to defeat an evil guy, and in return, he will reward them with money, but Saiyaman X1 and Saiyaman X2 turn down his invite, so Carmine ends up provoking them by saying that they're afraid of this evil strong guy, as Trunks gets fired up by saying that there's no one who can match our levels, with Carmine then telling them that there is a secret organization that is planning to take over the Earth. Meanwhile, on Beerus's planet, we see Vegeta versus BROLY, as BROLY fires a series of blasts, but Vegeta ends up deflecting them easily. Then he sneaks behind and whispers to BROLY in his ear with a proud smile, as I quote, "Are you going to go mad, BROLY?" as he takes BROLY's punch head on to the face and then says that there's nothing wrong with being angry, as anger is the source of power for all Saiyans, and the only problem with you is that you lose control of yourself. Vegeta then transforms into a Super Saiyan and goes on to state, "Don't surpass your rage, but instead control it." As from there, Vegeta keeps provoking BROLY to go berserk in order for him to stand a chance against him, but BROLY suppresses his rage within him instead. Goku from there worries that BROLY might actually go berserk again, but Whis notes that things have changed a little. As Goku doesn't understand what Whis means by this, BROLY soon gains the upper hand in the fight against Vegeta, as Vegeta lowers his ki and hides behind a tree, but BROLY takes a moment to think about where Vegeta is and hits Vegeta, as both Goku and Whis are both happy to see of BROLY's progress, but now the real training begins, as Vegeta notes that it's good that he's not getting mad during the fight, but if he doesn't, then he can't show off his true strength. So BROLY needs to go and figure out a way on how to bring his true strength out, with Goku suggesting to him to go Super Saiyan as well, but BROLY says that it's difficult for him to do that. Lemmo gives water to Goku, Vegeta, and BROLY as Shilai enters the scene, with Shilai responding, "Geez, you guys are so carefree. Say, what would you guys do if Frieza ended up showing up right now? Black Frieza, you said it was a nightmare, right?" With Goku pausing his water drinking by then responding, "Yeah, it's a nightmare, as he is a bad guy, but he's so amazing as he trained and surpassed us within such a short time." Beerus cuts in and tells Goku that there'd always be someone above him, so he just needs to continue his training, with Beerus responding, "If you can surpass me, then I will recommend for you to become the next god of destruction," with Goku responding, "But I have no interest in becoming a god of destruction. Beerus then asks Whis about the situation on Earth as he sensed danger earlier, but Whis explains to him that a terrifying monster named Cell Max had appeared, but Goku's son and Piccolo along with the others had defeated it. As Beerus doesn't seem to remember Goku's son, with Vegeta chiming in, Bulma said that Gohan was so great at the time that he might have even have surpassed us. Whoa, Goku responds, I wish I could have seen that. Well, I was in the middle of a fight with Vegeta, so I didn't really know as to what was going on. As meanwhile, back on Earth, Goten and Trunks have almost reached their destination, as Goten ends up realizing that this is the same area which Gohan lives in. As they both begin to worry upon reaching this location, Goten and Trunks are scared, so they don't leave the car, but instead, Carmine comes out and ends up shooting blank fires in the air as Gohan comes running out of his study outfit and having to catch the bullets from Carmine's gun and having to then realize of Carmine and number 15 being the kidnappers of Pan. And so, Gohan gets angry enough in entering his beast form by breaking his glasses, as the pressure of his ki ends up creating a massive hole within his garden as well. As Beast Gohan's ki is so big that Goku and Vegeta end up sensing it on Earth, with Vegeta uttering, Kakarot, could it be? This ki, it can't be, Goku responds. As with Carmine then later having to call upon the Saiyamen to fight Gohan, the boys instead actually end up refusing, with Gohan then later noticing both Goten and Trunks in the car by demanding for them to explain, but just then, Goku ends up coming to Earth as he teleports on top of the Red Ribbon vehicle and having to respond, Yo everyone, it's been a while, hasn't it? With the chapter ending as the editor note went on to imply, with Goku appearing in somewhat of a complicated situation, is Goku thinking about doing that? Which once again can only imply that Goku wants to go as far as to challenge Gohan, to which we are going to be covering the entirety of this manga chapter once it is released in English within the next 2 days on January 18th, so you do not want to miss out on everything that's about to take place within this upcoming manga chapter. And so let us know what you all think down in the comment section below involving Vegeta and Broly's training, and on top of the fact of Goku having to learn of everything involving Cell Max and Beast Gohan, only for Goku to end up coming back to Earth and now kind of looking as though he wants to challenge his son to a fight to see how strong he really is. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Thank you all so much for your time, to which as always, if you also happen to be new to this channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage for you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of making sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so that way you guys can be notified with every video that we end up posting on here. And if you're also excited for this upcoming manga chapter, then be sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more. Thank you all so much for your time once again, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace!
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.